on self-confidence in teenage girls. So I'm going to start with a quote. If you had a person in your life treating you the way that you treated yourself, you would have gotten rid of them long ago. So my plan is to do a social experiment. I'm kind of basing it off of like the Dove beauty campaigns, where basically I'm going to bring in a group of high school students and have them sit next to each other, and without going into detail of what's going to happen, I'm just like seeing how people see themselves versus how I would see, say, Sadie, like how I would describe her versus how she would describe herself. So my project is going to be a creative academic, because in the end I hopefully will have some sort of like a documentary or some sort of video that comes together. So my volunteering, I'm in the middle of planning with working with Girl Scouts and trying to hopefully create a badge with them, which is a lot, but we're trying to get the logistics on. So why is this interesting? Well, I took psychology my freshman year, and a lot of it was based off of, we talked about self-respect a lot, and since then I've been interested in working with younger kids, which I originally was going to talk to them, but that plan fell through with volunteering with the middle school. So I figured that I already kind of have a basis, and I'm in AP Psych right now, so I figured I might as well take something that I've already learned about and I'm interested in and go further with it. So my essential question is, how does the media affect girls and their confidence? And I'm gonna look into the fact of, even since my freshman year, I've noticed self-confidence and the people around me have changed so much, especially since like social media is so big now. Prior knowledge, like I said, I was in psychology. I am friends with a lot of girls. I have 2 sisters. I am around girls all the time. So it's like, it's kind of environmental, I guess, which is bad that I'm around that much self-deprivation, but I guess, I mean, high school. Previous experiences, again, having my sisters. My youngest sister is the one that I'm basing a lot of my research off of, is because she, when she was in like 8th grade, didn't care what she looked like. She'd wear stripes and plaids and black tights and didn't care at all, and now is wearing like leather jackets and lipstick and cares now that she's in 8th grade. So seeing her go from not caring to not wanting to leave the house without wearing her makeup and having her hair straightened is a lot of where this is going. So my mentor is Mr. DeAngelis, and he is a psych teacher, and he has connections with some of the, she's a daughter, so I'm looking with some of the organizations that she's worked with, and he's just one of my favorite teachers, so I figured he has experience with this. Again, my central question is how the media affects it, and it's going to tie into my project, like I said, gaining knowledge by looking into books, watching Dove campaigns, and just like seeing how my actual social experiment turns out versus the research that I've found previously. So for the expectations of learning, I am going to tie critical thinking like I've already done. My community connection bailed on me not only last Friday, but also last night, my second one. So already trying to figure out what exactly I'm supposed to do about that. Collaboration, like I said, the social experiment, it's going to be a lot of work both ways, finding people who will come and do this and take time out of their busy schedules, and then finding time in my schedule that I can work with all of these girls. My creativity, like I said, I'm going to have to actually create a video, which I've never done, so that falls under the coming out of my comfort zone. I have no idea how to use a camera, so we'll see. And then communication, I've already communicated so much with not only Girl Scouts, but I've sent 50 emails to Mr. DeAngelis. I've talked to the Bow Youth Center, which they bailed, and then the Girl Scouts, which I'm still in the middle of talking to. How does it push past comfortable limits? Well, presenting, and if you couldn't tell, is going to be interesting. Talking to a lot of people. I talk on the phone a lot, and I hate it. So I've already done multiple phone calls with Girl Scouts, and it's not something I'm good at. Asking classes for volunteers, I have to go in and personally ask the humanities, the A-Studs, and the World Studies classes and ask them for volunteers, which that's a massive pile of people who don't want to help, trying to get them to help me. And then, like I said, creating a video, which I've never done, so we'll see how that goes. And then measuring success, this one's kind of hard because I don't really know how to measure if my project is successful, because I'm talking to Mr. DeAngelis now about, like, for my community connection, trying to either, if Girl Scouts falls through, like make some sort of women's empowerment group here, which I guess you could measure if that's successful if I actually get a group up and running. And then as for the product, I mean, I think that if I impact at least one person with this project, I'm gonna consider it successful. I don't expect my project to go viral or anything, so I don't really know how to see if it's successful, but I think if one person takes some sort of message away from it, that's how I'm gonna tell if it's successful. And then how I'm gonna use it in the future, I'm going to study psychology and like clinical psychology and counseling, and that's a lot of working with kids and tying in the psychology aspect of my project. Any questions? Zach?
What can you do to be more comfortable while not in your comfort zone?
Note cards, a lot of them. As for like the phone calls, I mean, I kind of like jot stuff down before I answer the phone of like what I'm supposed to say, because I like right now I had all this planned. I didn't even say half of the stuff that was on my note cards. So I like write down what I'm supposed to say, which I mean, I guess that's kind of helpful. And then going into classes, I just hope that someone will volunteer. I mean, we'll see.